Welcome to Friday night's video in our Masters series. This is the 134th video in our Masters series, and hopefully the only video on distribution package. The first thing about the distribution package is try to get a really nice USB stick to send it to them. Don't again try to have them download stuff and all kinds of stuff. Mail off a nice package, with as much information about your studio and pictures of your studio and information about your studio with the distribution package that should be in a nice, beautiful little USB stick to send them to, to send to them. Make it look as professional as possible. Send it overnight delivery, send it UPS, send it priority mail, all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? Unless you're still dealing with Bob the Idiot that paid you $25 to mix his country western album with him singing while he plays the harmonica out of his butt or something. So anyway, besides that, when you get into this, that it's a pretty simple concept. The first thing when you're doing your formatting and stuff, is going to come into play here also. That you really want to check where things are going, what requirements they have in different countries and different, streaming companies and wherever things are going, to make sure that you really know what their requirements are and what is required for your master wave file to be in whatever it is, your master MP3 or whatever it is, to be played where it's going. Or if you're making images or DDP images, whatever you're doing, for whatever's going on, that you really research what those people need when you send them a master wave file or whatever. What do they want? Not just what the producer asked for or the band asked for. What do they need? And then always make sure you give the band or the producer what he asked for, and maybe add another file that after you've done some research is what they basically say they need, and make a note about it. I've talked to them and this is what they say they need, just in case what you asked for isn't going to work. This may be something to fall back on, but try not to call them wrong. Don't call them wrong. Be helpful. Try not to call them wrong. Give them what they asked for, but also have that other file of what they might possibly need. Does that make sense? And that's a huge thing. Because sometimes you can get streaming things that it's like, well, your stuff, the way it's done, it needs to be like minus 0.3 dB so it doesn't clip where it's going to stream, and just research that stuff so that when you're doing that kind of stuff, that it's done correctly. So that master is a master for iTunes, or it's a master for Google Play, or wherever, or Asia in Timbuktu, and they're different masters for those places. They're all the same master, but you might have, did a little bit differently so that it can fly where it's going. Does that make sense? So really check into that stuff. The package file is pretty simple. It's just a nice, comprehensive package put together in a USB that's, that looks good and clean and well put together. All the notes and stuff like that, it's a pretty simple concept that for the most part when you get into it, that you have your song file. I always save my pre-MIDI processing, anything before I render it to MIDI. I've got that, but it's really unlikely they're going to need any of that, but in the package I'm sending to them, that I'm going to have the master files that's going to have this master wave file that is the master we made. It's going to have the 2 mix downs that we talked about inside of it, and it's going to have in the other masters, master MP3 for iTunes, maybe a master MP3 for Asia Timbuktu, wherever, or whatever ones that they asked for, and whatever ones that you feel they might need rather than they asked for, in the same folder with a little note on them, a little README file or something. Be as helpful and knowledgeable. Check what's going on there. Those all in there. You've got, the score. Hopefully you've got a copy of the score with whatever software the score was written in, a PDF version of it, because not everybody has Sibelius, so they have that so they can look through the score. If you can get a hold of it, send it in there. It helps you look a lot more professional. The session files. You don't need to send them all this stuff, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to send them an AAF file of your session, that has that session. They can put it in any DAW if they wanted to. It looks professional. You've got all your session stages that you might not send in a distribution package. When I talked about going through the production, about all the things you want to save would all be here. That can be for you, may not be for them. Does that make sense? And README files. You got README files. the basic info of the song, just the most basic information of the song, as a small README file. They can peruse that. It's in there. It looks nice. It does. And you also have another README file that is real inclusive. Any notes that you made about the file. Does that make sense? Just any notes that are really going to, things, circumstances, or things you did and stuff like that. And you also may make another file that is, you make notes about everything you did. Everything you did is, whenever you're processing, editing, or doing anything, make notes about it. The more you do that, the more you go back and be able to redo what you did when you did a good job and be able to redo it well to help you grow. And also instruments. I've got this here that says every movement of the song, the beginning of it, the key, the timing signature, the beats per minute, the BPM. The intro had these, what was going on there? What did I use? For this transition, I had this choir riser that I used this multi-instrument patch from my choir. This noise riser was in all 6 noise files combined. Reverse simple was a sample file. And as I go in there, I had what? This, the choir. I had a multi-instrument my choir patch. This harmony choir was a multi-instrument my choir patch. I had this, this sub bass was the Presence synth sub-level patch. The more of that you do for your songs, each transition and movement, so it's really laid out besides just the score. This kind of stuff looks really professional. You sending that to them, and when you go to redo things, that you have all great notes about everything that happened throughout the entire production. As you get better, you'll get used to doing that stuff as you go along, but it can really help you. And snapshots. Take snapshots of everything. Take snapshots of how the amp was set. Take pictures of it. The guy's, pedal board, how his, his effects pedal was set, the keyboard, how it was set up when this guy did this patch. Everything outside of it, how you had the mic set when Bob was singing, how I would take pictures of everything, does that make sense? And pictures inside the DAW. When you're processing, what kind of, make different folders. When I was processing the vocals, I used this EQ, I used it set up like that, the reverb I had set up like that, on and on and on and on and on. It doesn't take much to take a few pictures and at the end of the session, drop it in this thing, make a folder for it, and done. Yeah, dude. That way, a lot of this stuff, not only is this going to be helpful for you, so as you progress, so you can go back and go, what did I do with the EQ when I did that? When I was doing that song, when I was processing that, I did that EQ. What was I doing? Bip, there it is. Oh, yeah. I boosted the bass end up a little bit, and oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah, okay, all right, And this can help you. And also to them, it looks professional. Some people won't open it up at all. They only hear this master wave file and the master MP3 send them for fucking streaming in Asia, and they don't care. People that are intelligent aren't. They're going to go, whoa, wait a minute, what is this stuff? They're going to go, wow, check this dude out. This dude includes all this information about everything he did. And look, he's got snapshots of everything. The amplifiers, the microphones, how he did the EQ when he was processing, when he was mastering. He did that work, and he took some pictures of the session and the EQ, and he did what is all that, and sometimes it's not as much as they understand everything you have in there. You understand it, but they see it, it makes you look professional. And they're just like, man, this guy is really on top of it. This package looks professional. Not only that, is there's a bunch of information I don't need, but I can call and say, Bob, what is this? Bob, this guy that we use sometimes, it's like he sent me all this stuff about everything. What is that? Oh, really? Wow, dude, he really sent you all that stuff? Send me a copy of that, bro. Then all of a sudden, Bob's got a copy of that going, dang, dude, I can't believe all the stuff that you put in there. That is unbelievable. That is so cool. And it's like this guy is really on top of it. And it makes it look like it's important to you, so that not only do you do their work well, but the next time you do work for them, that you might be doing work with that same band, that you've got all these notes written about what you did with this band, how you did things, pictures of every dang thing, notes about every dang thing. And they're like, wow, bro, you don't want to lose this, bro. You don't want to lose this guy. This guy's on top of it, bro, and it looks professional. Notes are laid out professional. Everything looks professional. The pictures look professional, detailed through the whole process. And they have it. We talked about like the AAF file. They may want to open up the session. All these things, sometimes people get talking, and they're asking about it. And you're not the only person in the planet that does recording, mixing, and mastering and music. So they probably have other people they talk about that they might share some of this information with to go, wow, check this out. Wow, that is so cool. And the more information you get about your session and keeping tracks of things, the better you'll become and the more professional you'll look. So it's a pretty simple process when you get your package together to send them. Include this stuff, and always remember to take that extra step to make sure that you've included what they need. And also, along with what they asked for. So that way you don't step on people's toes and go, you're wrong. You don't want to say you're wrong. You want to say, I sent this other file just in case, when you send that to iTunes or you send that to East Asia and Timbuktu, that might not work. I don't know, and it's like, but I sent this other file because, I know after checking it, that will work there. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know, bro. Maybe my information's wrong or I don't know. You didn't get good. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing, bro, but just in case, you're a golden boy. Yeah, dude. Give him a big old brownie. So really take those extra steps, and really take any extra steps to help them get what they need and to make things look professional. Some people will look through this stuff and it will enlighten them to what you're doing, what you go through, how professional you are, what a good job you do when you're going through and doing their work for their golden band that they're so happy with, and all of a sudden they realize you're taking care of them like a bunch of babies and taking care of their stuff like they can't even believe how much information you have about their babies, that it's huge. It can have a huge impact, and the right people see that can really impact your studio and your pocketbook. So really keep that in mind. So I hope I made that real simple and clear so that when you send them off that priority mail USB stick with some information about your studio, pictures of what you were doing, and and any notes you might have said about this, that, and even suggestive notes also included in there. Next time maybe anything and everything that makes you look really helpful, but trying to make nobody look wrong or that they are wrong. Does that make sense? That you're just being also helpful all the time. Suggestions. Does that make sense? So I really hope I made that real simple and real clear so that you can put a decent package together to send to people, and don't worry about it being a little bit too much information, because those that don't care won't look at it. Those that are thinking, they will. And some of them are not stupid, and some of them have a lot of money and that stuff. They are not disorganized and a mess, and they make notes about every damn thing, and they'll see that you're doing that, and it will reflect well upon you. So peace, hope, love. I hope you enjoyed this video on our distribution package, and I will see you in our last video when we talk a little bit about this master series and some last words of advice and wisdom to get you on your way. Peace, hope, love. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.